Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mr. Riley coming to you live from the West Coast, the best coast, the West Side. And this episode tonight, we're coming to you on the eve of the 2023 football season. So I have a special guest. I didn't put it in the announcement, but you got to stay tuned. So after the intro, we'll kind of give you some updates as it relates to the Pali football program, just some wonderful news, and then we'll have a special guest tonight. So you have to stick around after the intro, and you might have a clue who it might be, but you have to stick around to after the intro. So we'll see you then.
Hey, win on me, win on three, ready, 1, 2, 3. Win! Oh, yeah! Stop playing with a piece! 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 Stop playing with a piece!
All right, everyone. Let's go ahead and get into it, man. Welcome to the show. Welcome to this episode of This Week in Pali Football. I think I had another smaller intro, but it's playing right now, so I'm not going to bring it up because it's almost, let me see if it might be almost done. Yeah, I missed it. Okay, it's all good. Hey, welcome to the show, everybody. Hopefully you're excited for the 2023 football season. It's about to go down. Tonight is the eve of the of the football season. And so we got probably 10, 11 games lined up. And it's going to be a wonderful season, But before we get into all of the goodness with our special guest, let's go ahead and just share some information as it relates to the Pali football program really, really quick. So just some particulars. We got our wonderful graphic right here, week 0. And you're probably wondering why is it called week 0? Well, what happens throughout the season, there is a bye week. And so the week 0 just kind of ensures that everyone has a week 0, but then at the end of the season, we'll play 10 games. And so, we kind of add week zero to kind of balance out that bye week. So, that's why we call it week 0. And this week we have El Camino Real. And so here's some information that's as it relates to, getting to the game, who's playing and all that kind of good stuff, how to get your tickets and what time you should show up. So check it out. El Camino Real, which is my alma mater. So I'm kind of conflicted, right? Pali football, I've been affiliated with the past 9 years. And, I graduated from El Camino when they were known as the Conquistadors way back in the day. However, now they're known as the El Camino Real Royals, right? So, again, we have 2 games going on tomorrow at the Stadium by the Sea. 4 o'clock, the JV squad kicks off. And 7 p.m., the varsity team will go live. And so we want you to come on out. And I was just really tripping because I see that they've partnered with NFHS, and I think this particular company, they come in and they'll stream the game. But you know what? You want to make sure that you listen to Facebook James. I'm gonna give you all the good details, okay? So don't even worry about signing up for their account. Just come over to the Facebook stream. Actually, it's going to be on YouTube. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Coming over to the YouTube page, and you'll hear all the goodness from yours truly. So check it out. GoFan, you guys know how to work with GoFan. We've had it before. It's a wonderful, wonderful way for you to purchase your tickets. Tickets will no longer be sold in the stadium. However, all you have to do is just go to GoFan and download your, put in Palisades Charter Football Team, and you can have access to the tickets. You can purchase as many tickets as you need. And then, if you're a parent or a volunteer and you would like to get involved with the game day activities, where there's a link, and we can probably share that information after the broadcast. And so if you're a parent, if you're an uncle, cousin, sister, brother, and you want to kind of help, it takes a lot of hands to make Pali football work every week. And so the first 5 games of the season just happen to be home games. And so that's a wonderful thing. And so it takes a lot of time and effort by the Pali QB board, who who's kind of like the monetary arm, the fundraising arm of our program, and they work very, very hard. And so, if you want to contribute, come out and hop on the grill. You want to work on the sidelines, the chain gang. Well, you have an opportunity to do that as well. So they're needing volunteers for this week's JV game. It says for the chain gang, it says it says they might risk forfeiting. So I'm hoping that these slots have already been filled. And I know our dads and uncles really have a wonderful time, operating the chain gang. You have a perspective. You're watching the game on the field, whether it's the JV or the varsity. So hopefully, that has been taken care of. But yes, lots of volunteers. And then also, let's see, there's information about gear for the parents. We talked about GoFan, and here it is right here. NFHS. Look, I'm telling you want to listen to Facebook James, right? And he's going to give you all the good stuff. I happen to know that dude, so he's pretty cool. And there he is right there. Wouldn't you know, Facebook James. He's right there. He's going to call the varsity game, so definitely want to check that out. And then also, like I said, I alluded to a couple of moments ago, the first five games of the season are home games. So we have Friday against El Camino. Then next week, Roosevelt. Then we have Granada Hills for the Charter Bowl, and I'm sure we're looking for some kind of revenge to get back at them. Wonderful time. Last year we did not have the Charter Bowl because of the fires that were taking place near Granada Hills, and it was unhealthy to play that particular game. And then also Genevieve. And then we'll move into our bye week, September 15th. So the first few games are at Pali, which is a good thing. I love staying at home, and, we get to root our team on to victory. So come on out, and you see the rest of the games there. It's a 10-week schedule, and, tomorrow's the kickoff. So hopefully you can come on out and participate and root your son, your nephew, your brother, whether your neighbor, whatever the case might be. Come on out and let's have some fun at the Stadium by the Sea. And then also we're talking about merchandise. If you go to PrestonSo.com/Pali Football, you can purchase some good merch right here. Look at this. I might have to go ahead. I have tons of Pali merch over here, and so I'm probably due for another T-shirt. I love this dolphin. It looks really, really cool. And then you have these wearable blankets, because it will get a little chilly later on in the season. You have these wearable blankets, and you have these blankets here. You have these beanies. And so, and also this bucket hat as well. So mine is from last year. I love my bucket hat. And so, yeah, you can go to PrestonSo.com// Pali Football, and you can purchase these, and they'll come within 2 to 3 weeks of you ordering your merchandise. And then last thing, for those of us who are kind of football high school geeks, and you want to geek out about some of the stats that that our team will put up, then you might want to go ahead and register for a parent account on Max Preps. And so this is my account right here. If you look over here in my profile, you see all of my kids, right? You see Sir, Sire, and Savior and their classes. However, I'm just following right now Palisades football as just as an observer, as a supporter. And so again, tons of information here. In fact, I'm going to download the roster because that's going to help me out tomorrow as I call the game. And so you have Jabari, you have Jabari, Isaiah, Saxon. You have all of these players on the squad. And so, definitely, once the season begins, you'll be able to see touchdowns and yardage and all this kind of good stuff. So if you like to geek out on high school football, I would definitely encourage you to go ahead and run over to Max Preps, get you a free parent account. And that way you can see all the goodness behind the scenes and kind of encourage your family member to do their best on the football field, whether it's offense, defense, or special teams. And so that was a breathful right there. That was a breathful. And so, again, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Let's go ahead and bring in our special guest because our special guest is a little bit nervous, as he revealed to me a few moments ago. So we have the man, the myth, the legend, which is what I used to say to about Coach Ray Marsden, the former JV coach. But we have a new man myth, legend, and this is Coach Smith. So let's go ahead and bring Coach Smith on. There he is. What's going on, Coach Smith?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. How are you tonight?
I'm doing good. Just getting ready for tomorrow night's game. So
Absolutely,
just
absolutely,
last
man.
minute
So
adjustments.
yeah. So again, I appreciate you hopping on, man. We're not going to take up too much of your time. I'm not going to be like Curtis 50 Cent Jackson and ask 21 questions, but I'm gonna ask a couple of questions just so the parents and supporters can kind of get a feel of what you've done so far, your observations this far, and so you were hired last spring, and so just kind of tell us what you've done since. Let's kind of talk about it and break it up into compartments. We did have some time to spend some time at the spring. I think with the Friday night football lights, and I think you shared some information with me, and I know we've had 7-on-7s, we've had unofficial workouts, we've had official workouts, we have cats come and go, transfers in, folks leaving. So just kind of give us a glimpse of what your thoughts about the football team as it stands right now.
The kids have been working tremendously hard all summer. It wasn't an easy summer, and I did that on purpose. You kind of want to weed the guys who are gonna, stick around and see what they're made of. And it was a different culture last year, and I kind of want to bring in my own culture in this year. And the kids have embraced it from start to finish. So hopefully tomorrow we see all the hard work we've put in the last couple months.
Absolutely. So let's go ahead and looking at your 7-on-7. You had a rather large team, rather large 7-on-7 football team, and you probably could have did a team A and team B with all the players that you had. Just kind of tell us what you saw during that experience. Did I know you had some time in February and March to kind of put some things together. Did they work out for you during those 7-on-7 tournaments and opportunities against like Santa Monica and Harvard Westlake?
Yeah, so the first tournament we did was the Culver City tournament. That was the huge West Side tournament, and that one was sort of hard because it was still an evaluation period for us coaches. But at the
Sure.
same time, we want to compete. Win the tournament, and there were some good teams out there. So it was really hard to kind of get that balance of how do we compete with a new system against teams that have been around for years, but also evaluate, all the kids that we have. And there's a lot of kids, that were out there. We really didn't get a chance to play.
Right.
So it was pretty tough, but the kids that did play, they got some good work in. We got to evaluate them very well. The kids that didn't play, they took it in stride. They understood the situation, and they still come out and worked hard to try to get that spot.
Absolutely, yeah. No, I think the Culver City one, I went to and had a chance to just kind of check the team out. Plus it's Pali football. It's not too often that the team plays in my own backyard. Being in Culver City, I'm in Inglewood. I was like, hey, that's an easy observation.
Right.
Go check out the boys and just kind of support them. And
Right.
it was great for them to kind of have that I don't want to say fake real time game action, but an opportunity to kind of see what that real time action is going to look like in the fall. And so I saw Roman, he was launching some balls. He had the receivers going up and catching them, and even the defense as well. And so
Yeah.
I know I'm excited just to see what they can do this season. And I was excited during those during the 7-on-7s. Now, would you categorize the seven? Because a lot of parents and even the players, they'll think about okay, did we win or we won
Yeah.
this? What were your thoughts about just the camaraderie that was developed and just having the coaches be able to kind of help the kids in real time in those game time situations?
Yeah, anytime you go into a 7-on-7, you want to win, especially as a player. As for me, I think it's different for me being my first year here and trying to figure out who I have, who I don't have, and putting a team together. So it's a different situation for me, opposed to a coach that's been there for years who knows what he has, and we're just trying to get you know competition to get to the team or the timing right. So the Culver City tournament was a little rough because of that. But the next tournament we had was the Harvard Westlake tournament, and the first game against I think it was Crespi, we kind of came out slow. But the next three games we had, we were really clicking. The team started coming together. They finally figure out we're better than what we are. They were starting to learn the playbook a little bit, and that was the first time I saw them all summer really having fun. The last game I think we played was Harvard Westlake, and they were on the sideline, laughing, joking, and not taking a serious kind of way, but they were supporting the kids that were on the field that hadn't played a lot in the Culver City tournament. So it was really good to see them come together, and like you said, that camaraderie was really start to build on that during that tournament.
Yeah, no, I mean, and that's what those 7-on-7s are for. For the
Yeah,
kids to have an opportunity to develop the camaraderie, to act and look like a team,
right.
and I'm sure that's gonna that helped them during the different scrimmages against. I think you guys kind of scrimmage maybe Santa Monica,
Yeah,
at either at I'm not too sure where it was, but I just remember reading about it, and so
the
that kind
Culver
of
City
goes.
tournament.
Okay, yeah. So
Yeah,
it kind of goes a long way to help them, begin to understand, okay, I can count on this guy because he's able to do X, Y, and Z. I
right,
can count on this guy because he's gifted in this area. So, it
right,
all kind of works together because, after all, it is a team sport. And then, you said the guys were laughing and joking and just kind of supporting. That's what you want in the team. Who wants
right,
to be on a team that's, where everyone is miserable, right?
right, right, right,
But you have those connections. Of course, you're going to have those connections from each grade level. The seniors are
yeah,
going to click with each other, but then you
of
want
course,
everyone to connect with each other. So that's a
right,
pretty cool thing.
yeah.
Talk about your coaches, man. You went into the 7-on-7s. It was your first one. But your coaching staff, they've been to some of these before. So kind of talk about some of your coaches and their input to kind of make you feel a little bit more welcome as you went into these 7-on-7s and into the unofficial practice time this summer.
The coach has been great. We they helped me understand the kids. They've been around. For Jeremy's been around 6 years. Or Coach Reed's been around for 6 years. I think Coach Jackson 1 or 2 years, I believe. So they're on the defensive side, so they know their players, and but they've really helped me understand the offensive players as well. So during that time, they tell me, this kid can do that. This kid is good at whatever it was, just giving me advice. And um, it was kind of weird because it was our first tournament, and me and Coach Solomon were on one side of the field and the defense was on the other side. So it was kind of weird. We weren't really connecting, but as a coach, I want the defense to let it, do their thing. I'm not a micromanager, and I want them to be comfortable and not have to look over their shoulder like, oh, what is coach thinking? What does coach say? And
Right, right.
if I have some input, obviously I'm the head coach. My name's on the program. I'll give the input, but I trust those guys, and they've been great all summer during 7-on-7. So, um, you know, Coach Solomon's been like, I mean, glued to my hip, and he's been awesome since spring. He's helped me with whatever I need,
Yeah,
advice.
yeah.
Working late. He's been there. He's been there at every Saturday practice we had during the spring. So, I mean, he's been totally awesome.
Absolutely. No, I love the intensity of Coach Reed. I mean,
Oh yeah, yeah, yes.
you know,
He did good. Yeah,
yeah, I can share some stories, but yeah, he's real intense, and he wants nothing but the good, the best for the boys, and so
of
sometimes
course.
he gets really animated because
Yeah, oh yeah, he does.
he knows the boys can do what he's asking, or what the defensive coaches are asking them to do,
Right.
and he just he gets at it, right. And then Coach
Oh yeah,
AJ, I love the way that he coaches and teaches at the same time. Not to say
yeah,
that the other coaches don't teach, but I mean, me and I think both of us can appreciate just his approach
Yeah.
because we're teachers, we're educators, that's our profession, and I think he approaches it that way. And so
Right.
I just like to the way that he's he does what he does on the football
Yeah.
field, and yeah,
No,
you know,
he's very detail oriented, and I've
it,
noticed that, and that's
absolutely,
what the kids need. Yeah, I mean, even just every drill, he takes it slow and walks through it, and then after that, it's just intense. But you could tell the detail he puts into every drill, so it's really good
absolutely,
to see. Yeah.
absolutely. And then like you said, Coach Henry, he's
Mhm.
he's a quiet dude, right?
He's the total opposite.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he's real quiet. He's not too animated.
Right.
You don't know if you did a good thing or a
Right.
bad
Right.
thing,
Right. Right.
right?
No, it's
He's
funny
just
because me and him are quiet on the offense, and Coach Reed and Coach Jackson are total opposite on defense. Animated, loud. So it's a funny yin and yang there.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely, and that's what it takes. That's what it takes sometimes. How programs work. Everyone doesn't have to be the rah 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 coach. Sometimes you just
Right.
need that Tony Dungy kind of guy. Just
Right.
kind of
Right.
you get your point across in a different way, right? And that's
Exactly.
I think the kids can appreciate that balance when they look
Yeah.
at the adults on the field and who expect them to do certain things on the field.
Right.
And then also, let me throw you some accolades your way, Coach. I had several of the former players, because I know one of the things that you wanted to do this year is make sure that they all looked alike, especially during the unofficial time right before they got into their pads and
Yes.
going into 7-on-7. Some of the former football players, they were like, oh man, these guys, they look nice, in
Oh
in
yes.
in uniform, getting, practicing and warming up, and they were like, okay, this is some good structure here. So, I tip my cap to you, man, because I know that took a lot of
Appreciate
planning, and
it.
I'm
Yeah.
sure you probably received some pushback from some of the boys, but you got it done, and the boys look good on the field.
Honestly, verbally, I never got any pushback. There's obviously, there's some kids that still come out different shorts. We try to manage that, but I think for the most part, all summer we've had 95% of our kids every day in uniform. So it was good to see, and like I said, I just want to change the attitude of the team, and I feel like if we're all together, just not one person standing out and being an individual,
Sure,
if we dress like a team, we'll play like a team. I really stand by that. So I really appreciate the kids embracing the change, and even the parents, because they had to really come out of their pockets to do it. So
absolutely,
um, I appreciate parents and kids really embracing it and following that direction, and
yeah.
hopefully it pays off during the season.
Absolutely. No, and I kind of remember there was a big push a few years ago to kind of have the same thing happen where kids were looking at like, instead of wearing, your favorite NFL football team to practice or,
Right.
your some kind of other, uniform, why not represent your team? Because when you go
Exactly.
to some of these or when you look at some of these practices, even in high school, some of these teams they have on the same kind of uniform, and I'm just
Right.
thinking like the Banning high schools,
Mhm.
I see them in red and black, right?
Right.
You don't see a white shirt or
Right.
a tangerine pair of shorts. No,
Right. Right.
they're all uniform, and that kind of helps with building camaraderie and supporting the idea of teamwork and working together.
Exactly. And also, we talk about accountability, all the time. So, you know, in the workforce, if you have to wear a uniform, your boss is not going to say, "Well, I guess you didn't flag it today. Don't worry about it." It's we're
Absolutely,
trying to teach them after football and after high school as well. So it also teaches that, and as much as I can help them get to that next level, whatever, no matter what it is, I'm willing to do so.
absolutely. No, it's a wonderful thing. So I know we have some folks who are watching. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, I can't pull in my comments. So if you guys are commenting on Facebook or YouTube, I'm sorry that I cannot pull in your comments. And so I know we're streaming, in three different places. My YouTube page, I'm sorry, my Facebook page, Pally Football, YouTube page and Pally Football Facebook page. So I'm sorry about not putting up the comments if you're dropping comments, but we can always go back and look at them and read them. So just go ahead and continue to drop those comments if you can, and that will be very, very appreciative. All right, so let's move on a little bit to summer conditioning, and this is this is a time after the 4th of July parade and after kind of getting the guys acclimated and coming to the unofficial workouts. And I'm sure you had a large participation. Both the JV and varsity were there practicing, I believe. Um, so let's kind of move into just the official summer workouts and kind of what you saw. Did you see more of what you saw on the in the unofficial summer workouts? Where their team were just kind of talk us through that whole situation, making the transition, I guess, from the unofficial to the official summer workouts.
The unofficial workouts was actually great. We had 90 plus, maybe 85 to 90 plus kids. Maybe not the same kids. Maybe there's a few that didn't show up, but on a regular basis, we had 85 to 90 kids every day. So
Wow.
that was pretty good to see. Um, and like I said, we were still evaluating during that time, but we had a weight program and conditioning program. So in the beginning, it was kind of hard because we didn't have every coach there, but the kids embraced it. We'd have one group in the weight room, one group on the field, rotate in groups, and the kids got after it really good during the unofficial. So it was really good to see all those kids working hard, trying to get bigger and stronger and faster. So um, hopefully that builds to next year. I'm hoping it's not just new coach, new thing, and the excitement of the new. You get a new shiny ring, whatever, and you want to see use it every day. But hopefully next year we can continue that momentum and actually get a program year after year like these other big schools, and just continue to grow. With the official summer practice, it was kind of more the same. We didn't lift as much. It was more conditioning the first week, and then really trying to prepare for Birmingham, which is our scrimmage last week, and then for tomorrow night's game. So we kind of cut back on the weight and the conditioning a little bit, and it was more football focused. But we still had a good turnout. I think we had 120 something kids come out the first week. 130 signed up, and I think roughly 115 to 20 kids come out. So
Wow.
it was a lot of numbers. The football field was filled from end zone to end zone, but we made it work. We were working around each other. Kids were working hard, and I thought it was a really good summer.
Yeah, I mean, the couple of times I was out there, just the boys seemed ready to go. They seemed like, I mean, yeah, when you said 130, it was a lot of boys out there.
Yeah, it was.
you
It
know,
really
it
was.
was a
Yeah.
lot. I'm like, man, and so of course not everyone is going to play, but
Right.
I mean, just the interest level in
Yeah.
high school football. Some people say that it's kind of dying down. Well, not at Pally.
No, no.
I mean,
I, and
130 boys sign up and 115 show up. I mean,
right.
man, that's a lot.
And yeah, and I had five other kids yesterday, the first day of school, come and ask me if they can join, and I've and even more emails throughout this the summer from parents asking to come out. So
Yeah.
the interest is definitely there at Pally. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. No, that's a good thing. Good thing. So let's go ahead and transition and talk about just your observation from the scrimmage against Birmingham. Now, I believe Birmingham did they win a championship? Yeah, they won a championship last year, right? I think they were
I
Division One.
they were in the open division. They were in the open division.
Open, yes.
I think I saw they lost to Laguna Hills, but I'm not sure. But I know they
Okay.
were in the championship. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, yeah. No, I think that was probably the state, but I mean, I think they
Oh, okay.
actually won
Okay.
the city. I think they won the game against the city. I forgot who they played. Um, but yeah, but just go ahead and talk about just some of your observations from the Birmingham scrimmage and how you use that to prepare for this week against El Camino.
You know, the good and bad thing about it is one, you're playing the best team in the city that you might have to face in the playoffs. So it's definitely a measure of how you are going into the season. I'd rather play a team like that that's maybe going to kick our butts in a scrimmage game and see how we measure up, and we can kind of fix it going forward. Um, Now, my competitive side, it wasn't really a good showing for us. We had a lot of mistakes that were really self-inflicted. Eh, in the moment, it looked worse than what it was when I went back and watched film. It was
Mhm.
just one play or one missed assignment here and there, that kind of messes up. But the good thing is, kids know where to line up. They knew, for the most part, they knew what routes they were running. I thought the run game looked pretty good. They had some big linemen, so
Mhm.
it was tough to run the ball. But I thought we ran the ball really very well against them. And they're the number one team in the city. It's that's the standard right now. So
Yeah,
it was gonna look ugly, but we watched film. We faced a lot of things that we saw that need to be fixed, and going tomorrow, we'll see if it worked. But
absolutely.
like I said, it was good and bad. It wasn't it wasn't as bad watching it on film as I thought it was in
Got
that
you.
moment. So that was a good takeaway from that.
Got you. Got you. Yeah. And just speaking of polls, yeah, I'm pulling up their page. Let me see. I'm pulling up their page for this year, and yeah, you are correct. They're ranked number one in the city right now.
Yeah.
Let me see if what they did last year. Um, let's see. Yeah, so they went 9-5 last year, and let me see if they. Okay, so it looks like they won. So they beat Garfield last year
Okay.
um, to win, I guess, the city championship, and then they lost to Laguna Hills last year in the city, one of the state contests.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
All right.
so here we are now, El Camino Real. We're ranked. I believe I saw one poll that we were ranked number 10, and Birmingham is number one.
Yeah.
Where do you see, or where do you see, our team? Um, you know, are we going to stay around the 8, 9, 10 area, or are we um, going to jump up a little bit now? And here's a here's a caveat. The previous coach, Coach. Oh, Coach Hyde.
Yeah.
We used to ask him, Coach Hyde, how's the team? We might be lucky to win 5 games, right? And I'm like, okay, I know, he might be using that just to get a rise out of the
Right.
players. But I'm like, come on, coach. And then, ultimately we'll go ahead and go, 8-2 in the season, or 7-3, and then we might win a playoff game or two, right? So where do you see us kind of ending up, or where do you hope maybe that we'll end up somewhere within, will we stay within the top 8 so that we can get in that open division, or just kind of tell us what you think.
Well, my hope is that we are number one and win a championship. That's
Okay,
my hope.
absolutely.
No, I think every head coach always downplays how good they're going to be. We see our kids every day in practice. There might be a day where we're not practicing well, and we say, we're not as good as we think we are.
Sure.
And then the next day we have a great practice and we're better than, we say, oh, okay, we're okay. So, um, to be honest, I don't know how we're gonna fare this year. And that's my honest assessment. Well, I'll have a better answer tomorrow night once we, after the game. Um, I think we have the talent to be a top team. I will say that. I think our running back core is what I'm really excited about. With Harrison, Shiloh, and Terrell Watson, it's like a three-headed monster. So I'm really excited about them. Roman, he's the fastest kid on the team. I think that's another dimension to the run game, and he's really working well with Braden on the outside, and Jaden had a really good camp. Jaden Williams, senior receiver. So I think we have the talent. Defensive wise, we're really fast on defense. So the tools are there for us to be a good team. We just really have to believe in ourselves and put it together. And it's on. if we don't do it, it's just because of ourselves, not because somebody else is going to come in and beat us. It's really going to be self-inflicted if that happens.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you kind of jumped in there, and I was going to ask you about some of your standout players, or not necessarily stand, but guys who you think will give the back of the football team will be on their shoulders, right? So you mentioned Harrison, you mentioned Roman, you mentioned Braden. What about the defensive side of the ball? I mean, I know you got some ballers over there. You got
Right.
Jesse, you got you got Spoon. So go
Yeah.
ahead and give your defense some shine, so
Yeah.
so we can know who to look out for on the football field on Friday nights.
Yeah, I think it starts in the middle with Jesse, Cash, and Jake. Those three, coming back, linebacker core. They were really fast. They were killing us all summer, And I told them, I was like, if we play our defense, if our defense is the best thing we play all practice, we'll be okay. And then on the outside, Jabari Williams and Isaiah Sensabaugh. I'm really excited about Isaiah. He's a sophomore, really smart kid, and he can cover very well. So I'm really
Yeah.
excited to see him. And like I said, Jabari on the other side, and Evan Nuremberg, defensive end. He's a monster. He's going to give a lot of teams, a lot of quarterbacks, nightmares. So we've been playing fast. We want to play up tempo both sides of the ball, but the defense is really going to be playing fast, moving around, and they're going to be after the quarterback a lot this year.
Absolutely. And just historically over the past several years, defense has been really um one of our strengths, right? I mean, we I just thinking back to some of the defenses that we've had, and being able to hold some of the teams to um you know not allowing them to score a whole bunch of points, and especially that linebacker crew,
Right.
those three names that you mentioned. There's always been a group of three, right?
Mhm.
I can think back to my second son, Cy, when he was there. I called them the firm, right? It was the firm of the law firm of Riley, Newell, and Gadusham, because
uh,
those that linebacking core is very, very important. Not to say that it's not the most important position on the field, but these guys were getting at it, and so they were giving teams problems. And the names that you mentioned, I know that they're going to give. They're gonna do some they're gonna do some damage,
yeah,
and
no, they are.
I just can't wait to see them out on the field doing their thing. And then
And
also,
one name I
go
forgot to
ahead.
mention is Matthew Spoonemore as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
He had a really good summer as well, and I'm excited to see what he's going to do. So
yeah,
I
yeah.
had to mention him as well. Yeah,
Yeah, Spoon is my dude. I like Spoon. Spoon is
yeah,
and here's the thing too. So some of the guys that are on our team, they're so unassuming. You wouldn't think that they play football, but when they get on that field,
right,
they're some monsters, right?
yeah,
And so they just do what they've been coached to do. And so we're looking for
absolutely.
great things on the offense and defense. And let's go ahead and give our special team some love as well. We historically we've had pretty decent kickers and
Mhm.
punters. So give our special teams some shine as well.
Yeah, Kellen Ford's been out there working hard as well. He's out there kicking, and we try to implement the kicking game during practice as much as possible. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do this year and help us win some games. We did a period today where we did a 2 minute drill, and at the end, if we didn't, obviously get a first down, we kick it for a game winner. And he made both of them. I think one was a 30 something yarder, another one was a 40 something yarder. So, his leg is looking pretty good. And then Caden Robinson, his leg he has a strong leg, so the punt game is going to help us with field position. Once he's booming that ball the other side of the field, so the kicking game is looking really well, and we got fast returners on the kickoff and punt return with the Henry, Terrell Watson, and Harrison. So those two track guys, the Henry and Harrison, are really going to be explosive this year.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, that's one of the reasons I'm still around with Pali football. Is my nephew, he doing his thing. So just folks keep asking, Facebook or James, you gonna be around? I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be. It's gonna be hard for me, when he's ultimately done, playing
Right,
football or whatever. It's like, okay, I'm gonna have to find something else on Friday nights to do
right,
because my boys have already graduated. Now I got my nephews on the team.
right,
So
right.
he does what he does on the field. He has some football presence, and so we're
Yeah,
expecting,
for sure.
and I'm sure you guys are expecting good things, not only from him but for the rest of the boys on the football team as well.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Let's see what else. What else can we get into? Oh, okay. So as we're kind of moving closer, we're almost. Let me see how long we've been live here. I can tell you, we're right at 43 minutes. Let's see if we can go to 53 minutes, 50 minutes, and then 'cause I know you still want to, get your nervousness out. You might want to have a nice cold tall lemonade and kind of
Right.
reflect on the game for tomorrow. Put your last
Yeah.
thoughts in. But so let's maybe kind of close out our conversation tonight. Let's think about or our captains, and I'm sure we have football captains now. Have you mentioned who the captains are for this season?
Yeah, we announced them at our barbecue, our
Oh yeah,
kickoff
yeah.
scrimmage. Yeah.
Okay, okay,
Um, so we have Roman Lascala, quarterback, captain, um, Matthew Spoonemore, Evan Nuremberg, and Braden Sanford.
okay. Absolutely, good choices right there. And hopefully these boys will set the tone on the field before they get out there. I know last year they had some great captains year before, and so hopefully these captains will uh, help our boys just be in the moment
Yeah,
and play as
definitely.
hard as they can, lead by example, and just encourage the guys to go out there and give it their all.
Yeah,
um,
no, definitely. It's a quick story. When I first got hired, Braden was in my interview, and I mean, one of the first questions he asked me was, "How do I become a captain?" So most kids don't want to be a captain; they're shy away. But he was
Right.
like, how, not can I be a captain? He asked me, "How can I be a captain?" And he's really embraced that role, all summer long. And he's been, out a little bit with the ankle soreness, but he's been on the field helping guys with routes, being a voice out there. So it's really good to see. And the other three are kind of lead by example guys, but Braden is that voice that the team needs sometimes.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we kind of mentioned, I think, at the top of the show, we have guys who come and go. We had some boys who left. We had some
Mhm.
transfers who came in who's going to pick up the slack. And it's always a revolving door as a relate, especially off season, because you got folks who are you think they're present, and then all of a sudden we're like, wait a minute, where
Right.
did so and so go, right? So I'm sure you guys made proper adjustments, and uh, the next man up mentality is, I'm sure, is definitely what you guys have been preaching on the football field for your team.
Yeah, definitely. We have to. We can't sit around and say, "Oh, well, such gone. What are we going to do?" And a lot of the those kids who transferred, those guys that were in that spot have totally stepped up, and they want to be out there. They want to take over. They want to be a starter. Sometimes you have to drag the guys off the field. I mean, or you yell at them, get off the
Yeah,
field because they want to be in there. So that's been really good to see. I always say you can't miss what you never had. So for
absolutely.
me, they'd never been out there. I
Yeah,
never had them on the field. So I've met them in person. They're great kids, but
yeah,
as far as on the football field, I never had them. So for me,
yeah,
it's just
yeah.
I'm just gonna coach who I've had.
So I know I'm going to miss one particular player. I'm not going to mention his name, but I'm gonna miss him because his dad was always on the sideline taking those nice pictures, man. So we have, I'm on the field doing the live stream. Then we have a parent volunteer that'll take pictures of the boys, either in action or sideline shots, and then we have the professional folks. We have the Steve
Mhm.
Galuzos, we have the Craig Wessons, we
Right.
have Rich. I forgot Rich's last name, but he works for the Palisadian Post, and then we have the students. But this dad, his shots were like man, like just like,
Professional.
oh man, I was just like, so I'm gonna miss. I'm just gonna miss.
Missed it.
I'm gonna miss the parent. I mean, I'm gonna miss the player too. But now I'm like, dang, who can? So I might have to bring out one of my cameras, and when during the timeout, I might have to snap some photos
It's funny.
and put them up on the football page. Okay,
Right.
last question here, and
Mhm.
let's kind of talk about our JV squad. I know we had some coaches over there doing some things, and I don't know the names, but I'm gonna call this one Coach Dallas, because he had a Dallas Cowboy hat. Go Cowboys! So
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
so he was doing this thing, and I think I saw another couple of coaches out there. So just kind of talk about the coaching situation for our JV squad.
So excuse me, our head coach is Dwight Hamilton. He was at Southwest College and St. Bernard's prior, so he has some good experience, high school football and college football. Very, very no nonsense coach, which I think is good for that level. Assistant president of what the program's going to be for those
Mm-hmm.
kids coming up.
Mm-hmm.
But he's very, very good coach, very knowledgeable. So I'm excited to have him. The other guy you're talking about with that silly hat, Coach Feathers, Coach Featherstone. I've actually known Coach Featherstone since he was born. His family actually grew up in the apartment below me, so I've known him literally his whole life. So it's been really a joy to have somebody familiar that I've known, a friend of mine on the staff, and he's been really great with the kids. I've had emails from parents saying how wonderful he's been with them and how much their kid is enjoying being in football just because of him. So, it's really great to have that kind of staff. Even though it's only two of them working with a lot of kids, they've done a great job just kind of balance each other out with. Coach Hamilton's kind of the bad cop, Coach Featherstone's kind of the good cop type of thing, but they all have one goal, is try to get these kids better. So it's really a joy watching them practice every day and their camaraderie with the kids as well.
Yeah, Coach Featherstone. I was just kind of amazed at him, because he has a leg injury, but he
Yeah,
didn't let that stop him. The couple of
right.
times I was out there, and I was just amazed, because he, in this is not throwing any shade on any previous JV coach at Pali, but this guy, he had like 5 or 6 different groups doing different things, and for me, I was just really impressed with just the depth and the knowledge and just the activity level. Uh, you know,
Right.
despite his, him having a bum leg, he was just like, over here, he'll have these guys doing this, and over here, I mean, and then,
Yeah.
I think a couple of times he had, like several different activities all integrated into one. So you didn't have too many
Yeah.
boys just standing around, just kind of looking, and everybody was engaged when
Yeah.
he was kind of running the show and running some of the drills.
No, it is impressive. He's on his crutches. He's hopping around, and my whole thing when we had the coaches meeting was don't let the kids just stand around. Have them do something. The more reps, the better. And he's really embraced that. And like you said, he has one group of kids might be doing sit ups, another kid's group is running, another group is catching. He's really engaged. He has his saying, team focus. And the kids are just, I mean, right away they're focused on him. So he's really got the kids' attention, and it's really impressive to see him work.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, definitely. I mean, and then I can see the good cop and the bad cop with the other coach. I'm just listening to him. I was like, okay, he's the real deal.
Right,
So
right.
that's definitely a good analogy, and I'm sure that whatever those guys are doing on the JV side, if the boys happen to move up at the end of the season, like sometimes that might happen. You might call up one or two boys, but then definitely next year they'll have that work ethic and
Yeah.
kind of understanding of what it takes to be on the JV squad again. Because if you have freshmen and they're just now playing, next year there'll be sophomores and they'll have a better idea of what the coaches are expecting, and they'll be able to
Right.
train those young guys the
Yeah.
ropes. And so it just kind of continues, everyone is kind of training each other as they kind of matriculate through the program. So I'm happy to see that, and I'm hoping that the JV squad is going to be successful as well. I'm hoping that you guys, I'm hoping that we
Right. Right.
I'm hoping that we have a successful season as well. Like I said, you got a little pressure. 11-1 2 seasons ago. City championship last year. So folks are
Right.
like, okay, Coach Smith, what you gonna do? So
I will say this though, there is a lot of pressure, and but it's a new team, and a new season. So, there's a lot of kids from that team last year, but honestly, we're still young, and we're still learning a lot of stuff. So hopefully by the end of the year, that pressure should be gone, and we'll see the growth each week. But I'm really excited about this season.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, Coach, I appreciate you hopping on, man. And so, maybe we can talk offline a little bit. Maybe we can do something ideally, in my mind, I'm thinking, this week in Pali football, maybe we can just kind of go live at the beginning of the week, just kind of recap the game, that was just played, and kind of give a preview of the game ahead. So maybe we'll talk offline, and I have some time during the week. Maybe if you got some time, we can put something together, and maybe do a small segment each week, and even if it's recorded, if it's not live, I think the people might want that, and let's see if we can make that happen.
Yeah, I enjoy the show, and I always appreciate you having me on. So anytime you want me on, I'm there for you.
Absolutely, absolutely, Coach. I appreciate you. I don't want you to. I don't want to hold you up anymore. Go ahead and get ready for tomorrow. Get your tall glass of water. Collect your thoughts, and hopefully we'll definitely see you on the football field tomorrow. And good luck to you, and we'll see you on the field.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it, and I hope to see everybody out there. It's going to be a fun game tomorrow. Thank you.
Absolutely. Appreciate you, Coach.
All right, no problem.
All right, that was Coach Smith right there, man. Just a wonderful dude. Is coming in and just this is his program now. This is his baby, and he's going to do what's going to work, what he thinks is going to work for the squad and for the team. And there's a little pressure, but a little pressure is good, right? And so you talk about the clams, and how over time all the sand or whatever is kind of built up in the clam, and then ultimately comes out into they form this nice little pearl, right? And so hopefully we're looking for that nice little pearl at the end of the season. And so Coach Smith and the rest of the coaches for both varsity and JV, they're going to put the boys in the best position possible each week to have them be successful on the football field. We might not win them all, but at least if you go and train with the mindset that you will win, then most likely you'll come out with the a good effort. 9 times out of 10 you're going to come out on top. And so there are some games that we've already circled that we'll probably know that we'll win, but there's going to be some games where it's going to be a struggle. And so we just have to go out there. They'll have the boys ready to play on Friday nights. And so, again, thanks, Coach Smith, for hopping on. And, for those of you who support Pali football, we look forward to seeing you tomorrow night in the stadium by the sea. I'm looking at some of my at the Facebook feeds. I'm seeing a lot of people jumping in and jumping out. Special shout out to a friend of mine, Lisa Janae. Lisa Janae, her son played several years ago, and in fact, I believe her son is probably graduated from the College of Idaho. So, Lisa, special shout out to you for always supporting Pali football and being engaged and just checking out, what the alumni is doing over here at Palisades Charter High School. All right. Other than that, I think I'm done. And it's been a long 57 minutes and 4 seconds. So we're going to go live next week. Hopefully, we'll have some stats. We'll have some stories, and maybe even have a player to come on and join us. Maybe one of the captains to come in and join us as we talk about Pali football going forward. So other than that, thank you for watching. And here's a special thing. Tomorrow, I will not be live on the Facebook. What I'm trying to do is create a bigger audience. Not everyone has Facebook. And so we're actually going to use the Pali football YouTube page to go live. And so I ran a couple of tests today. Hopefully, when I look back at the video, those tests were successful. So the goal is to go live on our YouTube page instead of our Facebook page. And so we'll drop some links on our Pali football Pali Facebook page so that everyone can check out all the goodness of both the first half and the second half. All right. So other than that, Mr. Riley, I am out. Thank you guys for watching. I see Reginald T. Hammond Sr. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you. He's throwing a whole bunch of emojis, and we appreciate you watching and supporting Pali football as well. Other than that, I think I am done. Oh, okay. See, now comments, people want to drop some comments. Hey, Lisa, she says, thank you. Can't wait to tune in tomorrow on YouTube. It wouldn't be the same without you. Yeah, I don't know what this other company's going to do. Sometimes they'll hop up in my feed too, be like, hey, join the feed. I'm like, no, nobody wants to join your feed. They want to hear the real deal over here with Facebook, James. So it's all good. Anyway, let me stop rambling. We'll catch you tomorrow on the live, if I can get my last scene together. And thanks for watching. We will catch you in the next video. Have a good night, and we'll see you tomorrow. 4 o'clock for the JV, 7 o'clock for the varsity, and get your tickets on gofan.co because tickets will not be sold in the stadium. All right, good night. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.